Okay, got it. Yeah, no, because I forgot that we are going to be going up against the Republican National Convention.
And here we are.
We're going up against the GOP. We're going up against Clownface Von Fuckstick himself.
Right. And here we are playing Touhou. Oh, we don't give a shit about our country.
Nope. Well, I mean, come on. Does anyone actually think Trump is like? If I ever do like a political editorial, it's gonna be like, does anyone actually think Trump is gonna win?
I do, because he's a celebrity and our country's full of shallow idiots.
That
But
is
that's
true.
the only reason.
Bush really only won because he had a Bush in his name.
Yeah. Like, do you think anybody really... Oh, what's Trump's policies? No, they don't fucking care. Oh, it's Donald Trump. I'll vote for him. I like his show that he was on.
Yeah, the show that sucked.
What I'm saying is Big Bird could run for office and he would win handily.
Oh, I would so vote for Big Bird over Trump. Or, actually, I'd vote for Big Bird over most anybody.
Basically, yeah. The ideal president, Mr. Bird.
Yep. So we're pretty much taking it slow at the beginning just to let a couple people come in before we get started. Being that this is albeit not a Touhou Direct game, but a Touhou fan game, I am choosing to enjoy tonight with some beer of Zun's choice. Because as you may or may not know, actually, Pulla, how much do you know about Touhou?
I think I honestly know more about Touhou memes than I do about actual Touhou.
Okay. Did you get a chance to watch any of Slow Beef streams? Because they kind of gave
I was actually on maybe one or two of them, and I think it was the Subterranean Animism.
Oh,
which,
you were on the one that he
so
loved.
I got a little bit of information, isn't it?
Touhou fans are a little more exuberant. Like, they will, if they like Touhou, they will fucking let you know. It's, again, I love the games, and I even think some of the, like, other stuff is pretty cool, but, holy shit, some of the people, yeah, exactly, Touhou fans work in extremes. You, like, it's hard to be a casual fan of Touhou.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of, like, a similar fandom. It's almost kind of like Homestuck, like... Where
yeah, okay.
there are...
That's all you need to say, really.
There are really cool casual fans of Homestuck. You're not gonna hear them talking about it in, public spaces. You're gonna hear the people who, like, take it to the 10th degree.
There was one convention where apparently one person threw a bucket at another person and broke their nose.
Oh, yeah. Because that's the thing that happened in the comic.
Because that's the thing that happened in the comic. And apparently there's etiquette, Homestuck etiquette, where if you're going to lick somebody, you need to ask them first.
At least they fucking have that, but yeah, that's the thing that happened too. Conventions used to fucking hate Homestuck people because they would come in, basically grade the fuck out, and people don't know how to put, like, body paint on with like a sealant and stuff like that. So people
they
like,
get body paint all over everything.
Gray all over the place. I think one of my favorite moments was because I cosplayed from Homestuck one time. I cosplayed the guy with the giant head, the giant cue ball head. Which, that was a fun costume to make, and I still like that character, but,
here's the thing. I followed it when I was in college, back before it just completely got off the rails, and the characters are neat. I'll give it that. They're charming, and the story is kind of quirky in kind of an Earthbound kind of way. At least before it starts going into, like, alternate worlds and time shift and scratch and
it got too...
this person was really this person.
It got too complex for its own... It started collapsing under its own weight. Pretty much. And
Andrew has actually said that if he's being honest with himself, he'd rather be a writer than a comic book artist, because he just, I guess, has more affinity for writing than comic books.
Yep.
And that really kind of shows here because it's like during a certain period of time, it's like he doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, well, we got enough people, I think, in watching in chat, so let's get started.
Yeah.
This game is...
Thanks for coming. Yep.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. So, this game is... I'll give it the full title here. Komajo Densetsu Scarlet Symphony. You can just call it Touhouvania. It's a fan game made by Frontier Asia. They made a cool fighting game called Big Bang Beat. And they made this game, and Touhouvania 1 it's pretty simple. You know, kind of cool. I'll just show off a couple of stages of it, because the second one, they made a Touhouvania 2, which is, like, better in almost every way. But they wanted to make basically a Castlevania Touhou game, because they have Touhou fan games of literally anything. Like, Mega Man Touhou fan games, Mario World Touhou fan games, Earth fucking Defense Force, the game where you shoot giant ants with a bazooka, there's a Touhou fan game of that. So
yeah, like I said, I'm very casual. I wouldn't really even call myself a fan, but even I know that there are just a fuck ton of fan games for this. Fan games, fan dojin, fan, everything. The fan base is very creative. I'll give it that.
Yep. So this is one of the better fan games, because not only is it a pretty good Touhou fan game, it's also, in my opinion, one of the best, like, linear Castlevania games of all time. The plot is... Who gives a shit about the plot? They pretty much redid all the character designs to make them kind of like more gothy badass.
Yeah, it's actually similar to a Castlevania kind of style.
This is actually one of the, in terms of like cosplay variations, you'll see a lot of people do versions of characters from this one in particular, because they're all really badass. The music is really good.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've noticed. The fan games usually have really good music.
Like, the music in this is, like, just as good as almost any Castlevania. So, let me go through the mechanics here a little bit. You got a whip, which I will show off later, is stupid powerful. You got a slide, which doesn't do any damage, so you really shouldn't be doing it much. If you push up, you throw cards. Later on, you get sub-weapons, which are much better than the cards, but if you jump and double jump, you can hover in the air pretty much infinitely. And you might be asking, why don't we just, go through the entire stage like that? It's because if you do that, really powerful red things from the sky will come in and kick the shit out of you.
Oh, I see. So, you being in the air is what makes them come like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Because right now, if I stay down here, they won't attack me. But if I go up and try and fly over, yeah, they're gunning
oh, I see.
for me.
So they're always there, but they're just not mad at you unless you do that.
Yeah, and if you can see in my health bar in the upper left corner, they hit hard. They hit harder than most enemies at this point in the game.
That's a really interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I'm like, when I first started playing this, I'm like, why don't I just fly over the entire stage? And then I realized why. They also know their Castlevania and Ninja Gaiden games by having birds being the most annoying part of the game at the start.
So let me ask you, most of these fan games, they're usually one person doing this? Is this one person?
No, this one had a team behind it. They made a couple of other Dojin fighting games, which are really cool. But really, they're mostly well known for doing pretty much these games. The second, wait till you see the production values in the second one. They actually got like professional voice actors for the sequel.
Because looking at this sprite, if it's not a recolor of an existing Castlevania sprite, it's really top-notch. Actual production level quality.
They rip some sprites directly from Castlevania, but for the most part, everything is pretty new for this game. Definitely all like the character sprites are all new original ones, and they're really detailed.
Yeah, and I'm always a big fan of stuff like that.
So there are also these frogs, which are fucking annoying, because they're not all that powerful, but the fact that they are below you means you're almost always going to get hit by them unless you distinctly jump up. Now, and also because they always like to do a thing like putting a bird right there.
Yeah.
So you'll go to jump.
It's kind of intentionally annoying level design then.
So you'll jump over a frog, and if you try and go for like a high jump, you're gonna run right into a bird. So let's see what I mentioned before that your whip in this game is kind of broken. We will see some of that soon. Basically the hitbox for your whip is way longer than it looks like. And we're also at the first boss here, Cirno. She's one of the fan favorite characters. She's
the ice person.
The ice idiot, yeah, who's associated with the number 9.
Why 9?
I'm trying to remember. I think it has something to do with like a number pun. God, I knew it back in my back in the day. But yeah, pretty much her catchphrase in the first. She's just like a level 2 boss in the first game that came out for Windows, and she just kept saying like "I'm the strongest" or. So the in-joke in the fandom is that she's actually the strongest character, and she's also an idiot.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like an Earthbound, I'm the second strongest. No, I'm actually the second.
Very much like the moles, yeah.
Yeah, actually, no, it was like the third strongest.
Yeah, every 5 moles that are all the third strongest.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's pretty much like the bumbling like idiot. And every other character is the straight man for her. And she's also our first boss, and right before we have to fight her, we get a sub-weapon. Our sub-weapons are companions. So instead of equipping like a knife or equipping something else, you get a person who will join your party to fight, to basically do like a quick attack. So we get the other playable character in the game, Marisa. Reimu and Marisa are usually the two in just about every game you can play as. Shrine Maiden and a Witch.
Okay.
So, we can pretty much use her sub-weapon to, like, annihilate her. Most of the early bosses are pretty damn easy. And like you see here, there's a button for partner attack, costs 10 souls, and that's pretty much your sub-weapon. It's also going to make parts of the game ridiculously easy. And Barando is pointing out in chat, that's right, I completely forgot about that. So you know on like a screen, they'll show like, here's where your health bar is, here's where your number 1 health bar, number 2 spell cards, number 3 point counter, like,
oh. So
number 9.
It was like a picture of.
It was in like it was in the manual.
Yeah.
For the first game she was in, they pointed to her and said number 9, Baka, which is idiot. So it's always been stuck that she's number 9 idiot.
That's pretty cool.
So let's get this boss fight over way. So she's pretty easy. She can do pretty much each boss for the like beginning portion gets like a spell card. Hers are relatively easy to dodge. She'll only do those 2 attacks, and she will take time to power herself up while doing that one. So
okay, so you can actually see a little bit of the bullet hell roots here.
Yeah, later bosses will definitely take that to like its high level. So she stands still for a while doing that attack, so we can just kind of wail on her, and most bosses for that matter. And so she's going to join us for our second sub-weapon. And again, no one cares about the text, so...
Yeah, it seems like the story's just kind of a throwaway.